Hello viewers, welcome to my Doctor Who themed YouTube channel, Who Ventures. In this video I am going to review the Sarah Jane Adventures episode, Death of the Doctor. Now I don't usually watch Sarah Jane, but I watched it this time because Matt Smith is in it. So I made some notes and I shall start in part 1. So it was nice seeing Luke at university, but I thought that was like a really oh, poor Clyde played saying the other guy was his best friend. That was kind of cute. Then the unit arrived and it was great to see Layla Ruos. She looked gorgeous in that uniform with that unit beret on. It was great to see her in it, so that was cool. But then they came and said the Doctor's dead. It's like, eee. And then we've got the Swirl Pink Purple titles, which aren't quite as good as the Vortexy stuff. Then I thought the Shan sheath seemed sort of Oodish, because the Ood looked after 10 when he was regenerating and he was singing into his sleep, and that's what I thought the Shan sheath reminds me of the Ood. But I really liked how Rani calmed Sarah Jane down. She's I like the interaction between those characters. And then how they said you saved 500 children with the Scarlet Monstrosity. I love Russell's writing, you write stuff like that. Now the Shan sheath guy, I thought he'd make a really good merchandise opportunity as a cuddly toy. Because when I was a bit younger in France, we went to this aquarium place and I'd look round and there's a vulture cuddly toy and I really wanted it, and then on the way home I was like, I didn't get it. On the way I was like, oh, vulture cuddly toy, vulture. And so I thought the Shan sheath, it would be a good cuddly toy because it's a nice design. And so it was only till they got to the Sarah Jane scene, if the Doctor died she'd know. I was totally crying at that, started crying totally from that point to quite early in the episode. And then it cutscene and there's a gorgeous cherry blossom tree which is so sweet. I thought the first part of the story was really sweet and moving. And then we go to Unit and Clyde says, wow, the base looks so cool. But sort of with a critical eye it did kind of stand out as a painting. It's a bit obviously a painting. But obviously the Grask, the blue version of the Grask, and they're so cute, we're different, and he's just stamping his feet, boy smells. It's and then it's oh, he's got that smell of time, he's got that thing, and then I thought, oh yeah, he touched the TARDIS and he got all the special powery stuff as that. Oh yeah. And then I thought, where's Amy and Rory? Oh, wonder where they are. And then so yeah, we've got the Shan sheath by Vulture, and then they put 10 on, 10 clips. Oh no, no, cry, Joe will turn up. Then Joe turns up, but originally Joe Grant, apparently now Joe James, is I was like, oh, this is so fun, because I've only seen her in Carnival of Monsters so far, so when she came bursting in, it's all over the place, yeah, she's so cool. And then Santiago came in and I thought for a very split second I thought he was a toy boy. But I knew he wasn't, but for a split second I thought it was quite funny. But Santiago, her grandson, is yummy. I hope he comes back in it because he is gorgeous. And then they had a really touching conversation about Joe Grant, saying he never visited Joe Grant, but he went back to see Sarah Jane, and she's like, oh, and it's like, oh. And this episode sort of says about how you should appreciate what you've got in your own life rather than coveting other people's, because Santiago's life was all about going around the world and protesting, and his family going off protesting. But with Luke, Rani and Clyde, they get to save the world and see aliens and then go home again. So they're comparing each other's lives and appreciating what they have themselves and stuff. And I also thought this episode is Russell's so good at like the emotions and the emotional writing. It's so different to Moffat's writing, and expressing through the story how, and this particular one, how kids could deal with death and how everything's in your memories and keep your memories alive, and everything's all still there and it never goes away if you remember stuff. So then I like to look where she got all these bit Jatamansi oil and powdered Lapaccio, all this stuff she got. Then I like that Agdor, same planet, because I haven't watched much. I watched a bit and I've seen some of the stuff, and it feels like Artolengi and St. Carfal, Leshgard, San Martino, 1492, Drashig's, Axons, Ogrons. It must have been a total fangasm for the classic Who fans who've watched it since classic Who. Oh, they must have loved it. It's really cool. I like that when Joe said groovy, that was ace. Then we get Matt appears sort of climbing out of Clyde and switches places with Clyde. I love his new shirt. It's nice and crisp. It's nicer than his old, and his bow tie's a slightly different shade of blue. It's got a different jacket, and I love that he generated into a baby's. It's like that age line, that, and like someone baked you. It's like, oh, that's right, baked you, doctor. I thought that was ace. Then no, and then they got the doctor, and then they had the clip for the next episode, and it said try to think of something else, and I immediately thought of pink elephants, because that's what they say. Don't think of pink elephants, you automatically think of pink elephants, and that prompted me to think of that line. So that covers episode 1 of the story. So please join me in the next video for my review of episode 2 of the story. Thank you for watching. Yay!